Let's see. Is everything good? Alright, I think we're live. It says the stream quality is a little rough right now. I'm not entirely sure how accurate that is. OBS says we're fine, but I'm not sure what's different here. Maybe let me know if you're watching, if there's like any issues, but I think we should be good. But yeah, we are continuing our Froakie egg hunt here today, and we are currently 1,481 egg hatches into this hunt, and still no shiny. So there's a really good chance we're about to go 3 times odds today. Yeah, this has been quite the hunt. Here, let's actually get some eggs in our inventory and start doing this. But yeah, this has definitely been an intense hunt. So hopefully today, I decided to just wait till today if it's not obvious to continue the hunt. But yeah, hopefully today is actually the day we finally get ourselves the shiny. Alright, I'm gonna head over to Asado Desert because that's pretty much where I like to do this hunt. Yeah, if anyone's tuning in the stream and you're here, can you just let me know that the stream's coming in okay? Because on OBS it says it's okay, but in my dashboard for the platform, it wasn't really, it's kind of hard to tell, honestly, if things were coming in alright. It said the bitrate was low, but it doesn't make any sense since OBS says everything's fine. So maybe it's just like a technical error on the streaming services side. Oops. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's still saying... Oh wait, no, it's good. It says it's good. Never mind. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. We're about to start our first batch of eggs here. Let me see, we have like 20 minutes on this egg boost. So yeah, last time we actually ended up finding a random Orthworm shiny running around here. So we found 2 random shinies, full odds. I mean, I guess not. I mean, full odds with the shiny charm, but yeah, pretty funny that we like found just random shinies before we could even hatch. I don't know, I have a good feeling about today. I just have a good feeling about today that it is going to be the end of this hunt. Yo, what's up, Ada? Welcome to the stream, Ada. Great to see you. It was crazy because the last stream I did, people were messaging me like their shiny hunts, like you were Ada, Nate was, Sir Fizzbun. And it just seemed like everyone was having so much crazy shiny luck the day I was doing this hunt and failed. Like literally, Sir Fizzbun found his very first raid shiny, like in game. Like he found a shiny Dunsparce in a raid, which was crazy. Yeah, right. I think so too. I almost feel like there's like some weird glitch where like if you have a Froakie in a Dream Ball, it can't be shiny or something. Like some weird thing that's like maybe only affects my gameplay. Alright, second egg of the stream. 1,483. Yeah, that's what yeah, right. Maybe when I transferred that shiny Froakie, the game like was like, oh, you don't appreciate shiny Froakie? Well, you'll never get one again. 1,484. Alright, let's go. So I've been on the fence about going to... So like I've explained, you know, after San Diego Regional, I wanted to at least go to 1 or 2 more regionals to compete. It's honestly one of the toughest seasons ever, and like kind of getting back into VGC, it's been big learning curve just because it's a new meta and all that jazz, you know, figuring out stuff, grinding for resources. But I think there's a really good chance I'm going to go to North Carolina at the end of next month. I've been looking at it. Like, it wasn't actually the one I was planning to go to next, but it's one that I wanted to... Like, I was thinking, like, it'd be kind of cool to do at least one regional for each series. If I can afford it, you know, like, obviously. I think I might try to do, like, some type of, like, art stream where I, like, do drawings for donations or something to help, like, fund it a little bit. But for the most part, I'm just going to pay out of my own pocket. I'm going to decide today. I'm going to look at the stuff just to kind of come to a conclusion, like, do I want to go or not? But, yeah, I'm thinking about competing in North Carolina. I think it's, like, the 21st, the 24th or something. I don't remember exactly. No, it's not the 21st. It's the weekend of the 23rd to 24th or something. I can't remember 100% off the top of my head. That won't make a difference. Wait, what? You need... Oh, wait, you're saying, like, you need the ground sandwich. You need the boost. Is that what you're saying? Because you don't have any Herba Mystica. Yeah, so, like, I'll let everyone know what I end up doing. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna go compete in VGC in March. And then maybe I'll do, like, Portland or something. And then Fresno for sure. Fresno I'm definitely doing, just because it's, like, my girl has family up there. Plus, it's, like, relatively close to where we live. Alright, 1,487. Let's see. You know, I've been thinking about it more and more. It's actually kind of crazy the formats are gonna develop as the... You know, especially when Pokemon Home integration comes in. I think the metas are gonna become wild. Also, on, like, a side note, I've just been, like, trying to grind some teams off stream. I just haven't, like... I've just been focusing on the shiny hunting, finishing this for now on stream. But if I am competing in March, I'll probably have to, like... I'll probably be doing teams on stream that I'm not going to be playing in the tournament. Yo, what's up, Rick and Morty? Great to see you. But, yeah. We'll see. It's definitely going to be a very interesting month. 1,489. But yeah, I just figured, like, I don't know, there's something about, like, this cycle where I feel like I just want to, like, kind of try to do my best to, like, improve my game. It is definitely one of the sweaty. It's, like, super sweaty. Like, all the tournaments are, like, 500 plus participants, so it's, like, honestly, even just, like, I'm gonna have to really bust my butt in training if I'm gonna go to March. Like, if I end up committing to March, there's a good chance I'm gonna just, like, double down with PvP content on the stream. That way I can, I'll probably use, like, a lot of rental teams and just try them out and try to just, like, understand these, like, different cores. Like, I just want to play the game enough where I have a very confident, like, understanding of what I'm seeing when I'm seeing them. Like, that's the main thing about it, is, yeah. Like, I feel like if I'm comfortable and I actually, like, spend the time focusing on one team over the next month or two, there's a really good chance I can, like, flush it out and actually run it in March and do well. Because I think, like, the issue, too, was, like, I didn't, like, bounce my idea off too much off people when I went in San Diego. But I'm going to actually reach out to some of the people I've met in San Diego, especially if they're not competing in Charlotte, and then, you know, try to, like, scrim with them or, like, get advice. I'm gonna try to enter a few, like, grassroots tournaments and such over the next, whatever, like, month or so. Yo, the Duckman, thank you for the subscribe, welcome. But, yeah. Like, I will admit, it's definitely not going to be easy. And it's, like, kind of tough, because it's one of those things where it's, like, you kind of have to, like, invest a lot of time into something like VGC. Especially, like, you know, there's so many options. You can't prepare for everything, but it's like you want to try to test a team out in most common scenarios and know that you have answers. Like, as long as you have at least some play, it really will just come down to predicting your opponent. Like playing that poker game. 1492. Let's see. Will we get a shiny? This is just insane that we're almost to 1500 and still no shiny. Like, that's just insane. This is the longest egg hatch I've done so far on record. It's a nightmare. I hope this will never be contested for a future egg hunt. You know, like, wow. 1493. Like, I legitimately just don't know, like, what I could do differently. Like, nothing, really. But it's crazy, yeah, like, the odds are 1 in 512, and we're getting really... Once we get the 1-5-36, we should have caught... We should have technically hatched 3 shinies. You know, based on probability. But at the same time, you know, we get thousands and not get it. Which is what I'm not hoping to happen. Imagine going like to 2000. That's one thing that we were talking about in the last stream is we don't think it'll get to that far, but I mean the fact that it's gone this far, it's like, honestly, it's more likely that it would maybe go to 2000, but yeah, I don't know. I just want to get this hunt done. I'm not like, you know, I want to try to catch some more shinies occasionally throughout the month or so. I'm not going to just 100% abandon shiny hunting while I'm practicing for the tournament if I end up buying the ticket today, but yeah, definitely want to try to get more reps in with VGC. The actual signups for the tournament go live, I think it's Wednesday? I'm pretty confident I'm going to get a slot, because I'm going to just sit there and like get it right as they announce it. So I'm probably... Like, my plan is to, like, after I stream today, sit down and really think about financially how much it's gonna cost me to get a plane ticket, get, like, a hotel or Airbnb, Uber, food, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll, like, probably buy, like, a plane ticket at least today. Because that's the one thing that will fluctuate in price the most. And then from there, I'll, just get my signups done next week when... they go live, and then yeah, then it's a matter of me just kind of like practicing. So I'm going to be reaching out to people I met in San Diego, and hopefully they can help me like scrim and improve my team comp, because I do have an idea. Like, I don't know, there's like something about like there's certain Pokemon I see, like for me series 1 it was Staraptor. I was like, Staraptor is so good, like why aren't people running it? It's just like one of those Pokemon that not a lot of people had an answer for. You know, the Choice Band Reckless set just one-shots majority of the meta. And, or it like is so close that it's like a 92% chance to knock out or something. Like on Indeedee or Armarouge, for example. Depending on if it's like invested in bulk. But yeah, the team itself, like upon playing it in the tournament, I realized like it relied me to play too perfect. Like I had to make every prediction like perfect. And I would have built it slightly different upon, you know. I think even in the tournament, like, there's just like a little element that I feel like I would have improved on, that I could have figured out if I would have just been scrimming against people before the tournament. Because VGC is definitely a type of format that you can't do alone. Like, you can't just play the ladder and understand what's happening in these metas and tournaments. Like, you have to actually do these tournaments and, you know, practice with other people who are playing on that level as well. Like, a big part of it is it's just different than ladder. Like, because it's open sheet, like one thing I was talking about in my last stream, how like Indeedee Armarouge, it's a really good core, good combo, but it's good on a tournament team, but it's better on the ladder. It's like S tier on the ladder because you can't predict what the Armarouge is doing. You can't tell if it's Flash Fire or if it's weak armor. You can't tell what's Terra type. You don't know if it's a weakness policy set. And if it's weak policy with weak armor, then that's like one that you don't want to necessarily hit it with a super effective move. Like, it's a very interesting Pokemon. Very good on the ladder, just for that reason alone, that you have to kind of guess. Like, there was one match I played a week or two ago where it was like, it was either going to be Psychic or Dark Tera. And it was like, those, like, picking my move to throw at it, like, that's, one of them's gonna knock out, one of them's not. You know what I mean? Like, and it's gonna get U-turned with, it got U-turned by a Dragapult to set off its weakness policy, and then they switch in DD and just go for expanding forces with a weakness policy. You know what I mean? It's insane. So it's like, you want to shut that down, but if you don't know what it's gonna Tera to, then it's like, you can't one-shot it. And it's like, I had all the type coverage to actually one-shot it, whether, you know, but it was like, because I don't know what it's gonna do, I can't really play around it as good. But in a tournament, you know, you can actually make those calls. Like, that's the thing. That's like a minor, like, explanation or comparison how this can work differently. What would be the best Sammy for a Rotom? Probably Ghost. Especially during the day, because Rotom are, I think if it's a mass outbreak, the Rotom will still be spawning, but no other ghosts can actually spawn during the day. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are just continuing on here. Yo, good luck, Ada. Hopefully you get your shiny. Thanks for tuning into the stream. I hope you're all doing well. Definitely consider giving the stream a like if you're watching on YouTube. It does help my content reach a wider audience here. But we are gonna just keep hatching eggs. I'm not really sure. This is early stream, so I do have time. Like, I work later tonight in the evening. But we'll play it by ear. I mean, I'm really hoping that the batch of eggs I've prepared for us today will get us the shiny. I mean, we have a few boxes full, to be honest. I mean, but if it comes down to it, I mean, because the stream is so early, there's a really good chance I might try to get more eggs on stream. And if that is the case, then we'll switch over. Like, I'll keep the game up, obviously, and we'll get some eggs. But we'll do something else on stream. Like, we'll react to some Pokemon videos on YouTube, or I'll bring a Pokemon Showdown, and we'll, like, mess around in VGC. And maybe we'll just, like, mess around with team building for fun while we get eggs. But yeah, that's only if I decide to stay live and continue to earn more eggs and hatch them. I'm honestly just hoping that we hatch the shiny and doesn't come to that. But yeah, I have a plan that, like, you know, worst case scenario, we're probably gonna stay live longer today and just kind of like grind it out. 1,502, ladies and gentlemen. We're over 5. Oh, we got the shiny! We got it! We finally got it! Are you kidding me? 1,502 egg hatches. It's only been 18 minutes and we actually got it! Thank the Lord. RNGesus, thank you. Okay, we're gonna hatch the rest of these eggs still, but like, we actually got it. Yo, let's check it out. Oh my gosh, I finally got this. This took so long. Well, let's see. Did it actually have the right nature? Okay, yeah, it had the right nature too. It was like a 50-50 chance it was gonna be right since I'm not using Everstone in this breeding. Yo, this is so hyped. Let's look at the IVs. Nice, this is like actually just a nice hatch overall. Alright. I'm so happy that we hatched that. See, even the game knew. They're like, you know what, we're not gonna put you through that today. 1,502 egg hatches. That's just crazy. I'm gonna save for sure. Yo, I'm so hyped right now, chat. Let's hatch the rest of these eggs though. Maybe we'll get another shiny. If I do, I'm gonna trade it out to a viewer for sure. So, yeah, maybe as a viewer, you probably want this to happen. Alright. Yeah, if I get an extra one, I promise I'll give it to one of you watching. 1,504. This, it's so funny that, like, that's how this happens. That was just, wow. That was really fast today. See, imagine if that was like my first day. I wish that was just like the first day. But you know, 1,502 egg hatches for a shiny. That means a lot to me. Actually, should I evolve it right now? Let me see how much egg power I have. Okay, I'm gonna hatch the rest of these eggs first. I'm gonna wait until my sandwich boost is done, and then I'll evolve it into Greninja real quick. Or maybe I'll hold off a little bit. What do you think? I'm down to just evolve it right now. Because I mean, that was the whole point of doing this. Was, you know, evolve it straight to Greninja. Like, there's no reason to keep it as a Froakie or a Frognator or whatever. Alright, let's keep going. Yo, that was awesome. We finally got it. Rick and Morty, are you just saying that because of that one person the one day? Yeah, of course, it has to have no attack. I think you're just... It's like a copy pasta at this point. Like in this stream. Alright. Oh wait, I think I have to switch out my eggs. What am I doing? Yeah, what am I doing? So yeah, we got our shiny. I just hatched it finally. Like at the very beginning of the stream. Pretty intense, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna evolve into the Greninja here in a second. Like, I was thinking, do I want to cherish it as a Froakie? No, I'm actually sick of looking at Froakies after this. Like, I legitimately am just gonna hook that Greninja up. Like, I could technically just EV train it for now, or, you know, not even care about EV training it, and I can always, like, give it berries later. Like, I could just level it and put it on the team for fun. Maybe build it to use in raids or something. Temporarily until it's allowed to be used in VGC, and then I can like rebuild it. We'll see. Yo, that's so hyped though. I finally got it. This has been definitely a very interesting hunt. Definitely. Okay, so 1,502. As far as I know, that is the longest egg hunt I've ever done Masuda method in a Pokemon game. At least record-wise, that I've like kept track of. Like, I don't really know, like, in the past, like, when I was, like, on the 3DS, you know, way before I was a content creator, I don't know. Like, I used to do hatching, but I never, like, counted each egg. I just kind of, like, did them and did other things, like watch TV or multitasked. Okay, let's get these eggs hatched. Part of me doesn't want to hatch these eggs. Like, part of me just wants to do something else, but I'm still kind of like we literally are only 23 minutes into the stream and I already got the shiny. So I'll probably hatch a bunch of these just to see if we get a second, because like I said, if I by chance do hatch a second one, I am going to be giving it away to a viewer who's watching. Excuse me. You got a shiny Rotom already? Congrats. That's awesome. That's always nice when you can just get it within like 5-10 minutes of the sandwich. Because then you're like, oh, do I want to get a second one? Or do I want to just open up my possibilities for a new hunt? But if it's daytime, you can't really hunt other ghosts, technically. Unless there's another mass outbreak. So I mean, maybe you just stick with Rotom and go for a second one. Potentially. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's nighttime? Well, if it's nighttime, you could probably just roam. Maybe you'll find like Mistruvus or Ghastly. Or like Sinistea or something. Alright, I'm gonna hatch this batch and then evolve my Shiny Froakie. I'm pretty happy about this. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to do a different shiny hunt on stream today. I mean, it's crazy. Finally getting the shiny after all this time. That was nice to get it so fast, because now I just feel relaxed. Like anything we do here... Oh wait, sorry. We already hatched all 5. I'm just gonna delete these from the party, because future me will be very thankful that I was very proactive in this. Let's get rid of these frogs. Thanks again for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. We did get our Froakie already on stream, the shiny. So I'm gonna grab it real quick and evolve it. We have all these eggs still. I'll decide if I want to hatch them all today. Regardless if I hatch all these on stream today or not. Like if I decide to do another shiny hunt in like a half hour or so, I will hatch them, and if I do end up hatching a second shiny, it's still up for grabs for a viewer from the stream, supporter of the stream. So don't worry. I actually hope I hatch a second one. I would love to just give out and hook someone up with a legit Froakie. But ladies and gentlemen, our shiny Froakie, we finally got it. It's in a dream ball, and I'm gonna evolve it right now. So let's give it some candy and go from there. So let's get into second evolution here. Evolving in the desert. Alright, Frognator, right? Is that what its name is? Or am I saying this wrong? Frogadier. Oh, Frogadier. That's what it's called, Frogadier. Yeah, the Frogadier doesn't look too much different either. But now let's get this evolved into Greninja. Frogadier. One more level, and now we can evolve Frogadier here into Greninja. That's a little annoying that he's kind of like cut off. I have a feeling the Greninja's head's going to be cut off when it evolves. Okay, good, it zoomed out a bit. See, that is such a sick shiny Pokemon. Yo, it looks so good. It looks good in this game. Honestly, this looks so amazing. Here, let's bring it out real quick. Yo, that's sick. That is such a good looking shiny. I love its eyes when it goes like that. It's so nice. The red on the tongue is also... I just like the shade of it more. Yo, this is such a sick shiny. I never really noticed the blue like shuriken like markings on its like thighs. Yo, this was so worth it. This is amazing. I love this. Okay, let me put it back in the box and then we're gonna continue on here. This is just such a good shiny. Okay. Yeah, very happy that we were able to get that today. Alright. Save this and continue on. Oh yeah, let me make another sandwich. Also, I do have my Greninja raid and my level 6 star raid. I might host them for people on the stream as well. I almost want to do this raid. Alright. This game doesn't make much sense because, like, see how it's like a tilt here? Like, there's some areas where you're allowed to, like, do the picnic on the tilt, but then others you can't. Alright, let's make another great peanut butter sandwich here. By the way, the Game Boy emulator on the Switch is actually really cool. And on a side note, I actually did get the ROM Ripper delivered to me. Or the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color, like I have it right here. But I was gonna do like an unboxing video on my channel. Kind of like talk about it, like what it does. I just haven't like recorded it or done it yet. Obviously it's still in the box. But I plan on making a video for my daily Sassifrass channel where I'm doing an unboxing of it and kind of just showing what it does. You know, I'm gonna like rip my either Fire or my Pokemon Red or Pokemon Yellow game from its original cartridge to a ROM on the computer and then like vice versa. Just kind of show you that you can like, you know, bring your original cart data to an emulator and play it legally. I don't know, honestly, like I've been thinking about like doing some retro gaming streams since the Game Boy is on the Switch. I mean, even in Pokemon related stuff, I mean, the trading card game, I'm definitely gonna do a stream and play, or like make content for that game when it comes out. Hopefully there's a multiplayer function where we can actually battle each other. That would be so fun. Play that online against each other and such. But yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to do the RNG manipulation tricks for Gen 1 to get Mew glitched in. It just takes some time, because it's like, you really have to like, it's like a whole process of inputs that you have to do accurately. So that would be like a big learning curve to like do that correctly. But I mean, that's something that I do want to do at some point. And even potentially try to shiny hunt Mew in Gen 1. Because if you don't know, like even though shiny Pokemon can't be seen in the Gen 1 games, if you trade it into Gen 2 or use it in Pokemon Stadium, they can actually appear as a shiny, because shinies are based on IV spreads in the first 2 generations. So there is a way you can actually hunt for shiny Mew by glitching it in with RNG manipulation. So that's something that would be kind of fun to try to do, but it's in no means like a, you know, simple task. Like it takes a lot of planning and like understanding to get into it. But you can do it with just a regular Game Boy and the cartridge, as long as you just like follow the guide. Like obviously you need like a fresh save file, like you have to restart the game and such, but it's pretty fascinating. And think about it this way, like the fact that people can still play like Pokemon Yellow or Pokemon Red and Blue to this day and have value out of it, that's insane. Like the fact that people are still playing that game to this day is really cool. So yeah, we already hatched our shiny today. Finally got it on 1,502 hatches. We evolved it into Greninja as well. But at this point, I have so many eggs left that I decided to just keep hatching them. If I do hatch a second one, it's going to a viewer. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. Yeah, I'm really happy that we got it, of course. Like, I always think I'm going to plan out how I'm going to react in my head. But then when it actually happens, you know, it's just so unexpected. Alright, let's get a new box full. Yeah, super hype about this. I'm just happy overall, because now this means I can just kind of like do other stuff when I'm playing in this game. I mean, granted, like no one's like holding me to this, to hunt this long for a shiny, but for me, I just kind of doubled down when I go this far into a hunt. Like that's the whole thing about it. Alright. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple videos I've been wanting to watch on stream. One of them was actually about the pixel art of Pokemon. And we were kind of briefly talking about this even, like, I've heard other people talk about this also, but the idea of that maybe Pokemon would be better off if it was still 2D sprites, instead of like going for this type of open world 3D world. I mean, to be fair, I do think like stuff like Area Zero and such is really nice in that like top to down 3D world. I don't know if they could like pull that off as good in a 2D sprite, but you know, it could even get like gimmicky like how the distortion world was in Gen 4, which again, sad that they didn't bring that back in BDSP. Actually kind of unfortunate overall that they didn't base BDSP off of Platinum, because the distortion world was a really cool feature and they completely omitted it in the remakes. 1518. I mean, I don't technically have to keep track anymore since we got the shiny, but I will in case we do get another one. That way we have an idea how far apart they were. It's kind of crazy that I got it so early. Like, because that just means that, like, I was trying to like wrap my mind around, like, obviously we don't know because we can't see through the game data, but from what I understand about Pokemon games and how they work in other games, like how the shinies and such are determined, it's just like an RNG seed, like a string of code that keeps moving down. Like nothing's random, it's just that there's like all these different like strings of potential outcomes that like keep moving. So like every second, for example, there's like a different chance for something to spawn in. And if you spawn it in, it's like what frame you spawn that Pokemon in will be whatever data is on that frame in the RNG seed. So what I'm trying to say is like, whenever you pick eggs from the basket, we were kind of coming to the like hypothesis that that's when it determines if it's, you know, its stats, its IVs, its nature, if it's shiny or not. And is it better to kind of like keep clicking and checking the box frequently, or is it better to just batch collect them? And obviously, since I got the shiny so fast, it means that whatever RNG seed my game logged into was just like, there's a shiny waiting there early on in the frame data, and I just happened to line up getting an egg right on that. Again, like, I'm only basing this off of like how other Pokemon games determine their like Pokemon and such. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. Like, I don't think there's any way to like in other games, there's ways to kind of like figure out your actual RNG seed so you can like time out when to get a shiny and such legally. But in this game, I don't think there's really any resources or knowledge on that level. Like in BDSP, for example, there was this whole blink method that came out where if you kept track of 40 blinks of your character, and it can vary from a single blink to a double blink, you can actually figure out the current RNG seed you're on. And you can input like data and be like, oh, I want to find a shiny modest nature, like Happiny in the trophy garden or something. Like you can legitimately find that on the RNG seed you're currently in, because all that data is already like public info, and there's like tools that are equivalent to like a encyclopedia. Like obviously the person who figured all this stuff out had to have like, you know, stripped the game of its data, hacked it or whatever. But yeah, the people who follow these guides don't have to do anything illegal to their game or their console to achieve RNG manipulation. It's very interesting. You got a second one. Very nice. That's awesome to hear, Ada. Seems like you're on a roll this morning. Alright, 1522. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, this game, I don't really know many. I don't think there's many exploits. Like, the main thing about, I think shiny hunting is actually relatively easy in this game. Like, at first, I was a little upset about the changes. You know, the lack of visual cues and audio cues that we had in, like, Arceus, for example. But as time has gone on, I've gotten so many shinies in this game from sandwich boosts and such that I feel like shinies are actually really accessible, depending on what it is. Yo, Ad, it was asleep under a tree. Very nice. Yo, Reverse Dawn, what's up, bro? Yo, I ended up hatching the shiny today already on 1502. I'm just hatching the rest of my eggs at this point. How are you doing today, man? Alright, 1524 if I'm not mistaken. There's a really good chance I might switch things up and do a different shiny hunt. We'll see. Like right now I'm just kind of like vibing. You got a third shiny Rotom. Ada, that's amazing. Do any of them have no attack by chance? That'd be insane if they did. Alright. No shiny on this one. I'm trying to think, what have I really wanted to hunt that I just haven't gotten to? Like, I could hunt for a shiny Mudsdale. You're intoxicated? Yeah, I mean, it's a weekend. Are you having Jägermeister again? Or what are you sipping on? Speaking of sipping on, I should probably get more coffee here in a moment. I'm so hyped that within like 18 minutes of the stream today we got our shiny. And I did evolve it into Greninja already as well. I'm honestly just feeling really good. You're drinking some more Jägermeister? Is that your go-to? Bro, you're like a tank, man. Out here just sipping on Jägermeister. You drink it straight or do you mix it? What would you mix with Jägermeister if you were to mix it? Like, I have no idea. Like, what? Is Jägermeister like its own spirit? Or is it like something else? Like, I never really thought about this. You're on moonshine? You're drinking moonshine? Is it like real moonshine or is it just like store-bought? Because real moonshine is illegal, I feel like. At least like in the States. At least like getting to that like authentic alcohol level that people are, you know, like they're in myth. The mythos. Oops. The good shit. You made it? Oh my gosh, dude, that's crazy. That's cool. You can pack away some shine too, but it sneaks up in you out of nowhere later. The shiny Rotom that you just caught, Ada, do any of them by chance have 0 attack, IV? Because I would trade for something for one. Like, I know I have a shiny 0 attack from Sword and Shield, but it's obviously I can't use it in this game yet. To be fair, like, I don't necessarily have a team that I'm using Rotom with. Wait, are you serious? One of them is 0 attack. Are you serious? That's actually insane that one of them would be 0 attack. The first one you caught has Careful Nature with no good attack? Oh my gosh. Yo, can I have that? Because I'm trying to think, like, what could I trade for it? What do I have a double of? I'm trying to think what I have a double of that I could trade. What do I have a double of, shiny wise? I mean, like, there's some I have that I have in other games, like, probably trade away. Or I could just, like, owe you something down the line. Because that's kind of cool, like, that means I could build a Rotom competitively, shiny. Again, like, I don't know if I need one for Series 2, but at the same time, like, I'm kind of surprised there wasn't more Rotom at all, in general. Maybe because Meowscarada is, like, so common. Maybe for future funsies. Yeah, maybe, like, if I get do like, doubles on future hunt that you don't have, that would be, like, a good... Maybe I can, like, reserve, like, a future trade for you or something. I mean, because we're, like, always playing anyways, you know what I mean? It's not like we're not gonna hang out. Yo, that is actually insane that you got a no attack shiny. Like, that's the dream for a special attacker in the wild, is you get lucky with the 0 attack, like how I did with my Iron Moth shiny. Alright. I guess just let me know when your sandwich is up or whatever if you want to trade it now. Because I just want to see it and show it on stream. Because that's insane. Yeah. Like, you did all those resets for Gimme Goal, which I'm still thankful for because Gimme Goal will have... I mean, Golden Go even has relevance still in Series 2. And, like, even though I didn't run it on my regional team in San Diego, you know, it's like... There was really no reason for me not to try to build a team around it. It's so good. So, I mean, there's always a chance I might run a team if I end up doing the tournament next month with Golden Go. Yo, Jathan, what's up, yo? Welcome to the stream. Yo, we end up hatching the shiny finally, bro. I'm just hatching the rest of my eggs to see if I get another one, but I hatched it on 1,502. So I'm super hype about that. Ada Khalees here in the stream, she's been doing a mass outbreak for Rotom, and she got 3 shinies. And I was just asking her, like, yo, did any of them by chance have no attack, like 0 attack IVs? And her very first shiny that she caught had 0 attack IVs. So she's gonna trade it to me. And, I mean, granted, like I just said a little bit earlier, you weren't here, but I already have a no attack shiny Rotom in Sword and Shield that I bred for. But obviously, I can't bring in any Pokemon from home yet. So, I could technically build a shiny competitive Rotom once she trades it to me on a team. And honestly, I've been really liking... Like, there was a team with Rotom Frost for Series 1 that was really cool. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I'm pretty hype about this. I mean, I evolved it to Greninja. The shiny looks amazing. I don't know, it just looks better in this game than I thought it would. You know, I've seen it. I know what it looks like. I've seen it in past generations. But upon actually evolving it in my game and looking at it, it just looks so good. Like, it definitely has like that, like very much like a ninja, like assassin, rogue kind of vibe. You know, it makes Greninja just top tier shiny. Your new cat is watching too, I think he's interested. Yo, that's awesome. That's cool you got a new cat, or, you know, a cat in general. I have a cat as well, and I think cats are one of the best pets. Like, they're still very affectionate, but, you know, they don't, like, feel as needy. Like, even though, like, they obviously want attention, and they do get lonely and miss their owners and such, like, I feel like people think that cats are loners, but they're not. They're pack animals still. Like, I love cats. Grew up with them. The one I have right now is actually a stray cat that we adopted from... It used to live behind my old apartment. So, like, I don't know, we just have, like, a really nice relationship. She's a great cat. Alright, you're too drunk to navigate through Windows save files, but I'll link later how to tell if trade Pokemon is legit or not. Oh wait, you have a way? You have a way to figure out? That's actually really cool. That would be very helpful to know. Yeah, I would love to have like some way to verify, because at some point, like, maybe because I have like all these Froakie, maybe I will do some wonder trades. You know? Like, I haven't really done many like surprise trades. I think they're just called surprise trades now. I think they're not wonder trades, but it's just what I know them as. You have 2 and they're learning to get along. That's awesome. We want to get a second cat. I think it's probably a good idea, right? To have 2 cats instead of 1. I mean, granted, like, you know, we treat our cat well. She seems happy. But from what I've heard, it's like good to have 2 cats, because then they can do cat things together. Like, I mean, when I was growing up, I remember like my cats would like lick each other's ears and such, like, you know, like clean out their ears, and I feel like if you're one cat, you can't really do stuff like that, right? Like you can't clean out your ears and all that jazz. You have a screenshot of Gen 8 perfect Gen Pokemon? Oh, interesting. You have reversed on, yeah, maybe at some point down the line, you can like hook us up with those assets so we can kind of see. That's awesome, bro. I was watching That's a Plus One this morning, and I saw there was a team he made with Pin Missile Jolteon, and I'll admit, like, that was really cool. That's a Plus One is a VGC content creator on YouTube, and he's really into like making really interesting team comps. Like that's kind of like what I like a lot in Pokemon, is kind of exploring really gimmicky sets, like very interesting interactions, but obviously I want to build a consistent team for a tournament. Yeah, exactly right, Jathan. Like, that's the main thing, because there's been a couple times where we had to go out of town, and like for a couple days we would leave, and we'd always feel bad. Like we actually got we recently got like a pet camera, and it kind of revealed to us how much our cat actually does miss us when we're gone. Because it was over winter. Like I flew back home to the East Coast to visit my family. My girl went up north to visit her family for a day or two. And in that time period when we were both gone, I like tuned into the camera and I could actually talk in it. And I was like saying her name, and like her eyes like lit up, and she came over to the thing and she was like looking at it like, where's that familiar sound coming from? And you could just see how like she was like, you know, she was just really like lonely. I felt really bad, honestly. Oh my gosh, reversed on, that's insane. Okay, yeah, we could do the trade now if you want. 4420 4420. Let me just log online real quick. So yeah, Ada got 3 shiny Rotom, she's gonna give me one of them. Mainly, like, you know, to be honest, like, I don't necessarily need this trade. Like I said, I already have a shiny Rotom with no attack in a previous game from Sword and Shield. But if I end up wanting to make a team with a Rotom, it's like, this is legitimately possible now to do now. But yeah, regardless, it's a really thoughtful trade on your end. Do you have a breathalyzer? Reversed on, like, that's insane. Alright. I'll show you the IVs after this. So this type of stuff is really cool to me. Like, that was so lucky that you got that. Alright, let's get this no attack Rotom. I'm gonna get more coffee here in a second also. This is one of the things I love about having you in the community, Ada, is that like you're a grinder, you play the game pretty often, but you're not a battler. So like, you have so much, and you're just like, you know, obviously you're here to, like, you're helping me a lot. That's funny. Yeah, it's really nice. I really appreciate the help and support. Bro, reverse on, you are intense. Yo, look. Yeah, so she just caught this today, and since she had 3 of them, I was asking, like, you know, being cheeky, like, do any of them have no attack? And apparently her first one she caught did end up having no attack. So this is actually a really good IV spread for a competitive Rotom. So I'm just gonna throw it in my shiny box for now. But yeah, that means I could potentially look at building a shiny Rotom for VGC before home integration. But yeah, I just wanted to show off my Dream Ball shiny Greninja real quick. I already hatched it today on stream and evolved it. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through the rest of our eggs and see if there's any more shinies waiting for us. And I was saying earlier, if I do hatch a shiny, like another one, I'm giving it to a viewer. So, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, Jathan. Well, the thing is, like, with special attackers, you want to have 0 attack IVs, generally. So a lot of times, if it's a special attacking Pokemon, like, because I'm into VGC and singles and battling in general, I don't typically hunt special attackers in the wild, because their IV spreads are random. Like, physical attackers, it doesn't matter because you just bottle cap it. It's fine. There's no downsides to having like special attack IVs as a physical attacker. But if it's like a Trick Room Pokemon where I need 0 speed IVs, or if it's a special attacker, generally I won't hunt it in the wild. So Ada catching this Rotom like that is very rare. Like, I wouldn't say it's like insanely rare, but it's like, it's still pretty rare. Like, I wouldn't like expect to do a hunt like that and actually get 0 attack IVs in the ideal spot. You drank enough to kill small deer? Why would a deer be drinking alcohol? Yeah, you gotta get some water. Okay, yeah, Jathan, for sure. Yeah, to someone who doesn't have one, ideally, would be the best case scenario. Like, being able to hook up someone who would like a Shiny Froakie that's legit, but, you know, they don't have one. Alright, this is 1,542. Yeah, I just think it's crazy that after, like, what is this, my 8th stream hunting for this, we finally got it. You know, I will admit, like, there's a part of me that wants to hunt Skeledirge shiny. Like, I kind of want to, but it also feels like it'd be a nightmare. You know? Like, that'd be such a cool shiny to have. Like, there is a team I wanted to build in game, and it has Skeledirge on it, and I'm like, should I just breed for it? Because, I mean, the starters in general, that's the only way you're going to get them as shiny, is if you breed it. I don't know. It's an interesting situation. You never really know how these are going to turn out. Because, you know, obviously I don't want to sit here for 1,500 more eggs to get a shiny. Like, that took 8 full streams. I mean, technically, not a full stream, because we hatched it, like, within 20 minutes of this stream today. But you get what I'm saying. It took a while. The longest hunt so far for me. In-game. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty satisfied. Pretty much all my egg hatches are... Yeah, I do want a shiny... But the shiny Fuecoco has to have 0 attack IV. That's the main thing about it. Like, I don't want just a shiny. It needs... Like, I want to breed it for 0 attack IVs. Because, especially on Skeledirge, as a Pokemon that's weak to dark moves, the move Foul Play, which is pretty common in VGC, is a move that does damage based on your physical attack, and this is one of the main reasons why it's important to get 0 attack IVs on a special attacker. If I get 0 attack IVs, the Foul Play damage will actually do less damage to me, as opposed to if I just have like 31 IVs, which is best in slot, or just some random number. So I mean, I'm definitely gonna breed Skeledirge, and I'm gonna try to do like Fuecoco and the other starters at some point. You know, I know for a lot of people that was like their first shiny hunt in the game was, I want to get the starters. But, yeah, I'll see. I mean, like, today I'm going to be deciding 100% if I'm going to sit down and try to compete in Charlotte next month for VGC. Yor has 5 attack IVs. Yeah, like, it's all good. I'm gonna, if anything, I'll probably just breed my own. I mean, that's nice of you, Ada, but like I said, it needs 0 attack IVs. which I already have one that I bred. Like, here, let me just show you. Like, I have, like, this team I'm talking about. Like, I already have, like, the Pokemon like, kind of ready to be built. Like, where are they at? Yeah, like, see, I have a Fuecoco I'd bred already that has no attack. That, you know, I was just gonna, like, build this into the Skeledirge. But, like, yeah, ideally, I would want it to have 0 attack. The child. But yeah, it's not important to be shiny either. Like, that's the whole thing with me is, if I have the time and willpower, I'd like to get the shiny and breed for it. But, you know, I care more about it being competitively viable at the end of the day. Like, I guess, like, I'm in a situation where I could, like, flush out my team. Sounds good, Jathan. Like, I could flush out my team on Showdown. I don't know, maybe I will attempt doing a Skeledirge hunt. Like, honestly, it's a possibility. I'm trying to think. Honestly, like, the one Pokemon that comes to mind that I wish, it's a legendary, like, Chi-Yu, I wish I, like, soft reset in this game. Or a 0 attack legendary. Anyone watching right now, even if it's in posts, like if you're watching this into the VOD on YouTube or whatever, if you by chance are someone that doesn't play the game competitively, and if you can check your Chi-Yu that you caught in game, if it doesn't have a good IV stat, like if it doesn't say best for it, ideally if it says no good, that would be perfect. But like, if anyone is willing to check their Chi-Yu and trade me, like, I'll trade my Chi-Yu for your Chi-Yu. Because, like, if you're not a competitive battler, it doesn't matter. But, like, for me, yeah, I was just kind of rushed to get the shiny charm. Like, a part of me feels like I should just buy Scarlet at this point, if I want to get that. Like, but it seems silly just to buy Scarlet just to reset for that one legendary. Yeah, I know, and, like, I don't expect other people to reset a legendary for me like that, but yeah, like I tried to get Mr. Joe to do it. He tried, but he could only do it for so long, and he got like one around like 14 or 15 attack IVs, so we traded, and that's my current one I have. But ideally, if I had one with 0 IVs, that'd be amazing for attack. And that won't be really too important until like a series or 2 from now. Like, I don't know when ruined Pokemon are going to be allowed in VGC, but we already know just based on like the first week or so of the game, kind of competitively, that Chi-Yu is like insanely good on a team. So yeah, like, I would ideally love to have one that's optimized IV-wise for PvP. But I feel like even in like Sword and Shield, I didn't like have an optimized Calyrex. Like, the IVs weren't... I think it's even, like, maxed attack IV for my Calyrex, which is not good. But I still ran it. But I also didn't compete in tournaments. So, you know, there are scenarios where this would actually flip a game. And that's really, like, why you kind of strive for optimal IVs like that. Because more than likely, it's like... there's so many scenarios that will never matter. But for those few that it will matter, it's better to just kind of have the optimized IVs. I mean, some people will run the shiny just because it's shiny. They don't really care particularly if it has the right IV spread. But yeah, I do. Like, I mean, to be honest, like, there's times I'm even calcing EV spreads in show, like, you know, for my Pokemon in VGC to like barely just live certain attacks from certain matchups. Like, that's how important it is. Like, being able to live with like 1 HP even in a scenario is like game changing versus just getting knocked out. Okay, I need to make another sandwich real quick. Before I make this sandwich, I'm gonna actually grab more coffee because I'm definitely gonna need some. So yeah, we already hatched our shiny today. I'll actually just bring it up on screen, sit here. But if I do by chance hatch another shiny, I am definitely giving it away to a viewer in the stream. So yeah, 1 second chat, I'll be right back. Definitely appreciate you all hanging out here. But yeah, I'll be right back in a moment. Sorry for the wait. I was getting my coffee and such. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Yeah, chair stream. Alright. So we already got our shiny today. It was on our 1502nd hatch. I evolved it into Greninja. But we still have eggs. And I said if I hatch a second one, by any chance it's going to a viewer. So let's go. Make a Sammy here. Gotta get that egg boost going. I'm getting low on peanut butter, wow. So many Twitch bots? Is there just like, are they like sitting in the chat? Or like, are they actually just sitting here but they're not like doing anything? I don't even know. I haven't like even looked at the thing in so long. What are they? Oh yeah, those ones. Yeah, I know. It's so weird. I've seen those ones before, and whenever you go to their like profile, it's just like, it's weird, right? Like, I don't know if it's good or bad, to be honest. I feel like it's not bad, because I see it like in everyone's, but then I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I genuinely have no idea. Alright. Oh, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I like this area, by the way, because there's so many items we can just pick up while we're hatching our eggs. And I can just sell all this for money. Like, even the soft sand. Stardust and star pieces, though, are the best. And the items just constantly respawn as you run around. Alright, so we got another egg hatching here. 1552. It would be really cool if we by chance hatch a second one today. But again, I don't know. We almost went 3 times odds, but then we finally hatched one. We're just finishing up the rest of our eggs at the chance we hatch a second Shiny Froakie. Okay. Another one. Alright, 1554. You know what? Maybe I can bring up the one video that I was talking about that I kind of wanted to watch. That might be a good idea. Like, maybe we can watch that video together while we're hatching eggs. And then it's like, yeah, that might be cool. That might be a good idea. Let me see if I can find the video real quick. It's talking about pixel art in Pokemon. Alright. Let's keep on getting these hatched, but let me switch out. Okay, let's get back over to our egg boxes. It'd be amazing to just be able to get a second one after all this. To be honest, it would just be hyped to give a viewer a free shiny. Plus, like, if you're into competitive Pokemon, this is like a no attack shiny. So you have the options on how you can build this Greninja. It could be fully specially offensive, or you can just, you know, give it a bottle cap and then make it mixed attack or physical. That's what's cool about it. Alright. Stardust is always good. Well, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. Oh, it's the incredible pixel art of the Pokemon trading card game is the video I wanted to watch. I think it's talking about the... It's really interesting because it's a video that was made like 4 months ago, and it's talking about the game, the Pokemon trading card game that was on the Game Boy Color, like how the graphics were done in that. Like that's why I wanted to watch it, because that was kind of interesting. But then, like a couple days ago on the Nintendo Direct, they announced the Game Boy emulator for the Switch Online, and they showed the trading card game is a future release for that. I was like, what? What are the chances? Insane. I'm so hype about that. That's definitely a game I'm gonna play on stream. And if there isn't a multiplayer aspect to it online, then we can play that against each other, which is pretty cool because it means we'd be playing like a meta that was like so like the beginning of like the trading card game. Like that's what that meta would be. That's how old that game is. 1998, I think is when it came out. Like that's crazy, right? I was looking at it, it was like 1998 for the date. I'm like, that can't be right. Like that feels so long ago. But then I'm like, wait, that is actually when it came out. Like, pretty insane. You got a shiny Mischievous, yo, that's super cool. Well, you don't have to buy cards. It's literally a Game Boy game. Like, there's no way to do microtransactions and stuff in a game like that. Like, you just play the game. Like, you earn packs and stuff through the game. I can't remember exactly how. Like, I think you, like, beat trainers and such, and then you, like, win cards. I forget what it was. But yeah, everything you do is, like, within the game. Like, you don't... There's no microtransactions. That'd be insane. Like, somehow they, like, retroactively add microtransactions to a Game Boy game. Yeah, like, this is a legitimate, like, Game Boy Color game. Like, video games were just different then, overall. But yeah, it was just like, supposed to be a video game based on the hype of the cards. Well, I mean, like, technically it already is a part of, like, that aspect. Like, it's a part of Switch Online. Like, Switch Online, you can get the Game Boy stuff, but if you want the Game Boy Advance games, you have to have the expansion pack. But honestly, it's kind of... I think it's good they're adding stuff, because the expansion pack before didn't really feel worth it with just, like, N64 games and such. But now that they're adding, like, Game Boy Advance as well, which will have, like, Golden Sun and, like... Actually, a lot of, like, really good RPGs from that time. I might actually upgrade my like, subscription at some point. And, like, play all those, like... You know, have access to all that at some point. Like, I feel like the more value they add to the expansion pass is fine. But as far as I know, like, the Game Boy stuff is, like, free with your just baseline subscription. If you do have it. And then, yeah, the expansion pass is how you get the advance. Yeah, so if you have Switch Online, you'll get the Game Boy stuff. So you should be able to play the trading card game when they eventually release it as an option. Like, right now, you can go to the eShop and download the Game Boy emulator, and you can play Tetris, you can play A Link to the Past, you can play Kirby Dream World, or is it Dreamland? Whatever the first game is called. Maybe it's Kirby Dreamland. And yeah, there's a couple other games that you can play pretty much right now that are OG games. Like I was playing a little bit of Tetris last night. I'm trying. They have the Metroid game, I think, right now. It's honestly just like insane, and nostalgic. Like, it's kind of crazy just to think like that's what I was hyped about. Is like playing an old game. Like that's what got me more excited. Like playing the old Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy Color will be hype because it's actually a good game. Like it's legitimately a good game. How do you delete a YouTube video? There's a way to do it in your video selection. Like go to your like collection or whatever, and there should be a way for you to like select a like check mark and you can like delete it. Or there's like a drop down menu also for that video and you can like click delete. Alright.
But nothing beats the San Diego.
Sorry, I didn't mean to unmute that. We're gonna watch this video together, chat, called The Incredible Pixel Art of Pokemon Trading Card Game, which is the video game I was just talking about for the Game Boy Color. And you have to understand, like, I'm just generally like really impressed by, I think we should be impressed by pixel art for the Game Boy from some of these games. I mean, it's like insane to think like even like Pokemon, the original Red and Blue, like the turn battle, them being able to create that depth, like the 3D depth of like a battle, like you're facing this trainer and you're fighting them on a 2D screen on the Game Boy with like two colors essentially. I mean, granted, there's like I guess shades. It's like black to white, but yeah, it's insane to think like they could create that whole illusion of like depth on a Game Boy. That's why I think those games were like iconic. And even though they're not like amazing games too, and they're like very slow, I guess, in today's standard, they're still just like nostalgic. And it makes sense why they just like were so popular. Like you have to imagine like what that was like to play Red and Blue for the first time on the Game Boy. I mean, like I did. I was there. I was like a little, like I was a kid. My parents, I remember like we went to Toys R Us. I didn't even own a Game Boy at the time. I remember my neighbor down the street, her name was like Caitlin, and she let me borrow her Game Boy. It was like this gray Game Boy. I don't even remember why this was like how things were. But yeah, like my parents bought me Pokemon Blue. And I played that. Like even when the first Smash Brothers originally came out, like I lived through that as a kid. I remember seeing that as a kid in Toys R Us and just being so excited, like looking at the box art of Super Smash Brothers, just thinking, I know all these characters, but they're all together. Well, I didn't know all of them. Like I wasn't really familiar with Samus as much, but you know, that was what was also cool about Super Smash Brothers, was it helped you kind of like expose you to new franchise, different IPs that like are actually pretty good. You know, all have different fandoms. If they got The Little Mermaid on the old Game Boy, you'll be over that. That was your game. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure my sister had that. I feel like she did, like my older sister. I remember one time like my older sister got like a Game Boy Pocket or something. I was like so jealous or something. I feel like Game Boys were like very interesting. Like just thinking about it, like I actually brought my Game Boy Color home. Like I have it downstairs. I should like, I'm doing an unboxing stream of this like ROM ripper. Like I actually bought, it's like in this little box right now. Like I plan on like making a video for my daily Sassifrass channel soon. Like I'm gonna unbox this, and it's essentially like I could take my Game Boy cartridge and rip it to my computer and then play it on an emulator, which is a legal way to play a ROM. Like I own the game, you know what I mean? And I can play it on my emulator and then actually send that save data back to the cart and play it on my Game Boy Color. And it's the same save file. So I can actually do streams of like OG Pokemon games that are like legitimately to my cart, which I think is really cool. Like I can do like a Pokemon Red or I couldn't find my Gold or Silver game. I mean, Silver was my sister's, Red was actually my younger sister's, but like I have the Red and Yellow version here. So I might have to like, honestly, Gold and Silver are great, like the original ones. Like I like the remakes more, but just playing the original ones is just so nostalgic for me because that's what I played as a kid. And I love like the idea of potentially like making some streams playing these OG games. Like I definitely want to at least like consider playing, at least like showing off some of these things on stream at one point. If not, even dedicating like maybe a couple streams to playing through the entire game, like maybe starting like a new save file for Red or, you know, Yellow. Maybe Yellow could be cool, just because we get Pikachu. Or like, we could do like a Nuzlocke even or something. You know, something that would just be a reason to play the game, like objectively. And yeah, that'd be sick to share that with like a younger audience also. Like people who have never really experienced the original games. Like Yellow is kind of cool because it is a little more inspired by like the anime. Like there's elements in it. Like there's actually Jesse and James in it. So, you know, that in itself is kind of cool. But yeah, I also have Dragon Warrior Monster on the Game Boy Color and NFL Blitz. I couldn't really find a lot of the games and such. I don't know. Over the years, I'm sure I've sold some of them to like GameStop, but yeah, I have a Wii sitting here. Like between my girlfriend and me, like we have a Wii, we have an N64. I'm just trying to, like, I wish there was a way for me to play my 3DS on stream. Like, I might eventually, like, try to get something modded or whatever, like, drop some money on, like, a service, you know. We'll see. But I honestly wish I had a way to, like, connect my 3DS to a capture card and just play, like, I have most of my Pokemon games from that generation era, like 3DS and DS era. Alright. Like, those games are, like, honestly, I love the pixel Pokemon games. We're just trying to get a second shiny here at this point, if you're wondering. We did end up hatching a shiny on 1502 eggs. Already evolved it into Greninja, but if by chance we do get a second, I'm gonna give it away to a viewer. That's kind of the plan here. But I'm just kind of like hyped because I have this ROM Ripper and I don't know, it gives me a reason to like play some of these OG Game Boy games on stream. I feel like that could be a cool thing. I might do like a poll on my daily Sassifrass channel and see like if anyone would be like, maybe give a few options for like a game I could do a playthrough of. Like I feel like whenever they do the TCG on the Switch Online, I'm definitely gonna play it. Like I'm not even gonna like, I'm gonna play it regardless. But yeah, I've like really enjoyed, I don't know, just kind of like going down nostalgia lane with some of these like games that are coming out again. I mean, I like that they're adding these features on the Switch in general. Like, I mean, Tetris is just a good game. Like, getting Tetris just for having Switch Online subscription is pretty sick. It's like the OG experience and everything. Like, that could be, I feel like we could play that 2-player online too, right? Like, couldn't we play that 2-player? Tetris would be kind of sick to do on stream, to be honest. Like, try to go for like a really high score. Like, I'm not like necessarily that great at it or anything, but it's pretty difficult. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, actually there's like a lot of like skill curve in like playing something like Tetris. Like, when you watch someone who actually knows how to play Tetris could play, it's insane what they're doing. It's like, whoa, are you even human? But I think there is like kind of like a base pattern that occurs that they like pick up on or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not as random as it seems, or maybe they just know how to optimize pieces. I don't really know what it takes to be a Tetris champion, but maybe we can figure it out. So I'm gonna actually bring up this video on stream, and we're gonna watch it together while we're continuing to hatch eggs here. Let me just find the source real quick. Right. There we go. Let me pause the music here. And let me know if I should turn up anything. And yeah, let's go. Let's watch this video.
When you hear the term 8-bit, you probably think of the simple, blocky graphics from the first Mario, Zelda, or Pokemon games. But what exactly does
Should I turn it up at all, chat?
mean? A bit, or binary
I'll
digit,
turn it up a
is
bit.
the smallest unit of information possible. It's either on or off, like a switch. Get 8 of these switches in a row, and you can represent 256 unique states, like numbers. 8-bit machines are built around these units of 8 bits, or bytes, and this includes the graphics as well. Each byte can be read as one big number, but it can also be read as its 8 individual numbers. On the NES and
Yeah, it's just talking about the
Game Boy,
limitations of
pixels are as
graphics.
2 bits,
What they can
giving
do
it
with
4
these
unique
games.
states, like colors. When the graphics processor draws these pixels to the screen to render a frame, it gives each state an actual color from a corresponding color palette stored elsewhere. This way of handling graphics results in super efficient code and data, but gives these consoles their signature limitations, most obviously their 4-color tiles.
Yeah.
Even though Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario World have the same resolution, it's the color count that makes all the difference. In the case of the original Game Boy, it was even more limited, with only 4 shades of gray at all, and 2/3 of the resolution. So with all of that in mind, how do you take this and put it onto this? Later handhelds could simply
This is gonna be a
downscale
cool video.
images to work on the hardware, but doing the same with the Game Boy's restrictions produces some pretty rough results, at least at this scale. Increasing the card's size adds more detail, but screen space and memory is at a premium and has to share room with lots of other text and graphics. So when Hudson Soft set out to recreate the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy,
Oh yeah,
the graphic
Hudson.
designers had to get creative. Each card's illustration is
I do
only
remember seeing the
64
logo
by
when you play.
48 pixels wide with 4 shades of gray. And yet, despite these limitations, they were translated so faithfully and so masterfully. It's some of the best 8-bit pixel art I've ever seen, and
Yeah,
we've
that
learned a
stuff,
ton
it
from it.
is really good. That's
But
why
the
it's such a
game
good
isn't just in
game.
black and white, of course. One of the game's programmers recalled, when we started developing Pokemon Card GB,
This is
there
the
was
game
no
I was
talk
talking
of
about earlier that's
compatibility
coming
with the
on the
Game Boy
Switch
Color.
Online.
However, as development progressed, we heard that a Game Boy Color would be released, so we decided to create graphics that support color as well. That's why Pokemon Card GB contains 3 types of graphics, for monochrome Game Boy, Super Game Boy, and Game Boy Color.
Let me see.
The most obvious is the whole map. The pictures of the islands are different, so you can tell at a glance when you compare them. Unlike some other
Oh my
assets,
gosh,
though,
yeah, it's
the
so
card
cool.
sprites use the exact same graphics on all platforms. But the Game Boy Color also uses the card's unique color palettes, which is how they're colorized. Each palette uses a somewhat white and somewhat black color, which are saturated to various degrees depending on the context. Sometimes the white shade isn't white at all.
Oh
like
my
with
gosh, the
Pikachu
Pikachu cards.
The 2 middle
Those are the
colors
OG
are
ones.
either monochromatic, analogous, or independent from each other.
Yo, those
That
look
last
great.
one
Look at that
is interesting because
gloom.
It implies the cards were drawn in color first instead of being colorized later. Take Raticate, for instance. In black and white, there would be no reason to reserve light gray for green and dark gray for orange. Using both shades like this would capture more detail. But in color, it doesn't work at all, and would have to be modified to use a monochrome palette. Comparing both forms of different cards is interesting,
those look
but
so
also use the color
good.
from now on. Now let's look at the artistic techniques and conventions used to translate the original Pokemon card illustrations into pixel art. First of all, every card has a 1 pixel wide black border, which keeps everything contained and looking sharp. Next, a color palette needs to be chosen. This will dictate how the rest of the card's elements are interpreted. The Pokemon itself is always
It looks so
prioritized,
good,
which
I
usually
love it.
results in a light shade and a dark shade from its palette being used. However,
I'm so
some
excited to
cards
play that
opt
game
for
again.
2 contrasting colors like we saw earlier. So one color is mostly for the Pokemon,
Like, that's what it
and the
looked
other
like on
is
the Game
mostly
Boy
for the
Color, isn't it
background,
insane?
with the white and black colors used more extensively to compensate. This brings us to perhaps the most important technique, dithering. The most common use for dithering is to blend 2 colors together or transition
The
between
Mew
them.
card.
But dithering can also add texture, create visual interest, or maintain a small...
It's crazy because they definitely look like the actual
in art
cards.
with more than 4 colors at least. Dithering is honestly an art form in itself, and the graphic designers for these cards use tons of it to convey as much detail as possible. Let's start with blending 2 colors. There are many types of dither patterns, but the most basic and common is a checkerboard alternating between them. I can't find any names for these patterns, so I'm calling this one a half dither because it covers 50% of the original color. The other one they use, which I'll call a quarter dither, covers 25%. Using these 2 patterns, you can create 3
Another
intermediate
shiny,
stages
that's
between
insane,
colors
Ada.
like this. The quarter dithering
Very
is
nice.
actually unique, as it offsets every other row of
All
pixels.
ghosts.
This makes the transition into half dithering more complicated, but looks
Just get
much
rid
more
of these
natural
Froakie.
over larger areas especially. As a byproduct of shading, dithering can also imply texture on different types of terrain, foliage, atmosphere, anything really. Usually only half dithering
Yeah,
is
those
used
look
with the
amazing.
Pokemon themselves though. This is mostly for visual clarity, and because quarter dithering requires a larger area to pull off.
Like, look
But
how they
there are
can,
some
like,
interesting
it looks
exceptions to
3D.
that.
And it's
The
like, these are
last use
just
for dithering is to
bits.
avoid large areas of a single color in the more abstract cards. This adds some visual interest and helps stay consistent with the more detailed cards. The way the Pokemon are portrayed is kept
Is
pretty
this video
consistent.
volume just like very
The
low, or is it
black
just me?
outlines are recreated, then shading and other details are added, then the Pokemon are fully outlined in white, which really makes them pop from the background. Those backgrounds, however, are much less straightforward to interpret than the flat, cartoony monsters. Depending on the scene's complexity, elements are simplified, left out, or drawn as more symbolic outlines. From personal experience, this is the hardest part of the process, and recreating such detailed backgrounds well takes a lot of planning,
I think it still looks really
creativity,
good.
and time. But there is another type of background we haven't looked at yet, holographic cards. These look awesome and are emulated pretty well, first by using the 2 darkest
It
colors
is
to
true, though.
represent the background behind
Like,
the
you can
holo
definitely
photo,
tell they're
which you
special.
can better see on the non-holo versions of the original cards. Everything is dithered to darken the pattern and give it that glittery appearance. Then those shiny stars are drawn everywhere with the 2 lighter colors. Simple but effective. Now I've stuck to talking about the Pokemon artwork, but the same principles apply to the trainer and energy cards as well. A much higher portion of these cards were originally 3D renders, and they were handled really well. Well,
Yeah,
should
that looks
cover
amazing.
everything
Like the super
regarding the art
potion,
style.
the switch.
Tell me if there's another design choice or technique that I missed though.
Just
I
look
should
at all
mention
that.
On an original
It's
Game Boy
beautiful.
Color, the screen looked
It
more
is just
like
art.
this. This doesn't affect any art too much, except for this Sandshrew, which is hard to even look at on the normal display. Bright yellows especially appear washed out, so you'll notice a lot of yellow palettes are overcompensating for this. But wait, there's another way you could view these cards, remember? On the Super Game Boy. Basically, the Super Game Boy has a limited ability to colorize the normally
that's the
black and white
OG.
screen by applying a custom color
Even
palette to
Palette
it.
Town.
Actually, you can apply up to 4 different palettes to different areas of tiles.
Oh my gosh.
However,
That just gets me so
color layer is
nostalgic
static
and pumped.
can't be scrolled, which means that any moving sections of a game have to all use one palette. But static elements like these can utilize multiple, and that's what Pokemon TCG does in its menus and duels, using the same card palettes as the Game Boy Color version. But the Super Game Boy has another quirk of making the first color in each palette transparent, which shows the background color underneath in this case. This only really affects cards that use a non-white color
Yo, maybe we'll watch that reverse lawn next. That's interesting.
first, resulting in some very odd-looking sprites. But what about making cards with more than 4 colors? In the Japan-only sequel Pokemon Card GB2, each card is given 3 different
what is
color
this?
palettes, and all of the original art was
This must have not
recolored to
been
utilize them.
a global release.
12 colors sounds like a lot, but in practice it's a lot more restricted. Since each tile can only be assigned 1 palette,
let's
and
get
common
some more
colors
Froakie.
like
What am I
black
doing?
and white need to be shared between them, the amount of unique colors is usually more like 6 or 7. Even still, there often aren't enough palettes or enough colors in one tile to include every detail, which sometimes leads to these unwanted seams between palettes, incorrectly
stopped 2
colored
minutes on
elements,
this
or
sandwich.
reductions in detail. But in general, the updated cards look amazing, and
Look
it'd
at
be
that
much harder
Pokeball.
to notice the imperfections on
That
a
looks
real
amazing.
Game
The
Boy
one
Color.
next to the Clefable
I
and
actually
Parasite.
tried reworking some of the card's color palettes and lost details under the same limitations and could barely make any improvements. So yeah, the artist did a really good job. Why 3 color palettes though? Could they use more? Not really. Let's look at the game's main dual screen. Pikachu uses 3 color palettes, Abra uses another 3 palettes, text and icons use a gray palette, and these borders use an orange palette. That makes 8 palettes in total, which happens to be the maximum the Game Boy Color can use at once. So it was all very intentional. But there are ways to go even further, as anyone who's played Yu-Gi-Oh's Game Boy game will know.
I
The art
didn't
in
play
this
that
game
one.
is large and colorful unlike much else on the system.
It does look
This
good
is
though.
accomplished by creating
Wow.
a layer of sprites with their own set of sprite palettes on top of the background tiles, so more than 4 colors per tile are possible. This 7-color fish
Pretty creative.
uses 7 whole background palettes and another 7 sprite palettes, 34 sprites in total. But using these massive colorful cards has its drawbacks. They're slow to load and take up a lot of screen
Alright, got
space,
another
and
egg
only
here.
1 card can be on screen at a time, since it uses up all of the sprites and colors. This is why cards attack face down. The art for the card back only uses 1 palette shared with the text and icons. Also, Pokemon TCG uses sprites for its awesome attack animations, which Yu-Gi-Oh! Completely lacks. Anyway, this was kind of all over the place, but I hope it's
Yeah,
interesting.
true. Wait, what? Random. Sorry about that. Wait, is that the end?
It uses up all of the sprites and colors.
What?
This is why cards attack face down. The art
Did
for
it
the
just
card
end
back
abruptly?
only uses 1 palette shared with the text and icons. Also, Pokemon TCG uses sprites for its awesome attack
was really
animations, which Yu-Gi-Oh! Completely lacks. Anyway, this was kind of all over the place, but I hope it's interesting.
Oh yeah, it is over. Interesting, indeed. All right, so we're gonna watch this video by Reverse Down. Hold on, I think let me back up real quick. I think it should be working now. There we go. It has one of my videos recommended here. That's crazy. My main channel from 3 years ago. So how am I like able to tell? Is this just like showing? So you're saying like which one is legit? Only one is. You're gonna check their memories. That one's not real. Yeah. That one's not real. The second one's real. Sounds good, Ada. Alright. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Trying to look at what this video is about. Or maybe the second one is not real. I'm not really sure. I don't think we got the answer either. Alright. GG's. Which one was real? The first or second one? Interesting. Maybe the first one was real. But I feel like maybe the first one was fake, the second one was real. Yeah, so if we do get a second shiny, I will give it to someone random. But yeah, we're just kind of chilling. The one with Dawn is OT was real? Which one was that? Was it the first one or second one? I don't remember which one had the Dawn OT. I guess I'll look at it again. This is the Asado Desert, hatching all the eggs. This is the Asado Desert, hatching all the eggs. But yeah, the pixel art for the trading card game is super sick. Game Boy in general is just like hype. Game Boy was super big in its time. Okay, so the first one was fake. So I was right. Because I thought the memories was like way too much. It was like way too much memory. Like, usually it's not that long whenever you talk to them, but I don't know. It just seems. Alright, so this will be 1,603. Let us see. Oh, shiny. Alright, I think I need to make another sandwich. Let me hatch the... I guess I could just hatch these three real quick. Then we'll make another sandwich. Keep on keeping on. What are the chances that I actually hatch a second one? I mean, it's possible, right? I mean, we technically should have gotten 3. We only got 1. By like how many eggs we've gone through. And maybe I got very lucky with these eggs, because I have a lot left still. I mean, I guess that could even be like a situation where like I could technically keep it and have multiple builds for Greninja. But no, I'd be down to give it away. I already said I would. 1,605. Just seeing if we get the second shiny with our batch. Get a second shiny today. Alright, I think I have one more here. I think this song is actually... yeah, this song is actually from the trading card game video game. I mean, this is like a remix of it, but... The music in that game is super good also. Like, Game Boy music is top tier. Yeah, that's a good remix. Alright, let's make a new Sammy. Get that sandwich first, so I can touch these things faster than before, when they didn't eat the sandwich. Alright. I don't know if I'll hatch all of these today. We'll see. I mean, I just feel like satisfied that I already got it. We might do something else, or I might just like end my stream in a half hour. We'll see. Like, I'm gonna at least do this sandwich boost and hatch the rest of how many eggs I can within this half hour. But I'll probably just end my stream after that, or we'll do a different shiny hunt for about a half hour after that. Like, maybe I'll hunt for Cyclizar or something. Yeah, you're just saying, like, you can edit the memory in general with, like, a hacked Pokemon or gen. Alright. I see. Let's get these hatched. So we've done over 1,600 eggs. It's kind of crazy. I mean, at this point, it's just kind of like we got what we needed. Technically, like over 100 eggs ago, we got what we needed. 1,502. I will never forget you. To be honest, it's just like kind of insane. Give me that. Oh no! It was Stardust. Totally worth it. Selling all the Stardust we get from just collecting off the ground is going to be a big profit. Like, let me just show you. Like, we have 203 right now. Like, that's crazy. I mean, this isn't even, like, I've sold it, like, I think that's just from today and the last day I did the hunt. Like, I usually just sell it, like, after the stream. I just don't think I sold it after the last stream. But isn't that crazy? Like, that goes for a lot of money. But yeah, I've done that multiple times, just like sold a lot of the Stardust and Star Piece and got a hefty amount of reward for it. So regardless of how long it took, we still like profited. And we got a couple different shinies that we caught in the wild while we were doing this hunt. So it was a very interesting time. Had a lot of interesting discussions as well. Alright, 1,608. We're going for the second Shiny Froakie. We'll see. Okay, no luck there. Here's another hatch for the shiny. Yeah, within like 18 minutes of the stream, I hatched the shiny finally. Can't believe it. I mean, I had a feeling it was gonna happen today. I'm just excited that it did. Now I'm just kind of chilling. We're watching a few videos. Hopefully we get a second one, that way I can give it away. I'll give you a like on that video, bro. For sure. hook you up. I'll even watch it one more time in the background here so it can like get that watch time. And then the YouTube algorithm will be like, this must be a good video. It has over 100% watch time. That's crazy. That is how it works though. Alright. Another batch of eggs here. Just to like kind of show you, let's see how many boxes we have left here. We have... Whew. At least we have like over 90 eggs for sure. Probably 100 or something. So yeah. Still a pretty good chance to hatch a second shiny. I mean, granted, it took us 1,502 eggs to get the first one. It's probability. It's a good day. Oops. Alright. I'm glad you got your shinies there and you just threw the Dynamax Adventures though, that's sick. It's a good shiny. Totally worth it. It was worth it. Reverse dawn. Alright, we got another egg hatch here. 1,612. That's what F's. I'm gonna pull some eggs from the back after this batch. We'll hatch some from the back of our boxes. Sometimes there's a shiny in the back. How do you get more space in Pokemon Home? I think you have to have the upgraded subscription, or like the subscription-based model. Because how much space do you currently have? Because I have like, I pay the subscription yearly or whatever, and yeah, I have a lot of space in it. My Argon. You did a proper sacrifice to the shiny god to get you a blessing. I did actually hatch my shiny at 1502 earlier. I'm currently just, yeah, the premium plan, right? I did finally hatch it. I'm just hatching the rest of my eggs in hopes of getting a second. Because if I do get a second one, I'm going to give it to a viewer. I'll just show you, just to like confirm. It was like 18 minutes to the stream. I actually hatched it and then I evolved it into Greninja. So finally. Yeah, I think you need to get the premium plan to get the space. If you just have the free version, it's limited what you can do in it. I know it's a little unfortunate. They and like, think about how much money they're making off of it. It's like, they could be cheaper, but they make it like relatively expensive, I guess. Thank you, Ta. I really appreciate it. But hopefully your sacrifice means we'll get a second shiny. I was so hyped to get it. Yeah, right now we're just kind of like hoping to get a second one with what we have left, but it's okay. It's more for like a viewer situation, you know. I'm saying that multiple times, but that's the main reason why I'm going through these eggs, is hopefully I can like give something back to the community. Alright, let's get some more here. I'm like not tracking these correctly. Okay, I'm gonna take this one, but I'm gonna grab some eggs from the back. But yeah. To be fair, I like how Gamefreak makes memory things complicated. thing for against hackers, but technology is other ways ahead of. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. People always find ways to adapt, and like, you know, it's just like a constant back and forth with these like developers and such. Alright. Sometimes when you're like on the bike, you can like get the camera to go crazy. See how I'm like doing that? Like, it's weird. It's kind of trippy. I feel like if I was like standing up, I'd like lean over, like, whoa. Feel sick. This game does kind of give you like motion sickness at times, depending on what you're doing. I feel like more into handheld. But yeah, let's go. Got another batch here. I just finished watching the Bad Batch. I'm not gonna say anything about it, but some pretty good episodes in this season. I don't know if anyone's a Star Wars fan. Right. Let's run away from this Rufflet. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'll do on my next shiny stream. I was saying I kind of want to get a zero attack Skeledirge. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do, like how you can verify in this game. Like Scarlet and Violet, because they don't really have the memory aspect like they did in Sword and Shield. It became very clear like when people just genned Pokemon. But I don't really know how you can tell in this game. Like you kind of just have to assume, like if there's like an OT that is known as a assist bot or whatever. But I don't know. Like it's like you kind of just have to like trust your source of the trade that you're getting it from. Like when Ada traded me the Rotom, I know for a fact that she's just like a casual player. Like she's not sitting here on a hack switch or something getting shiny Pokemon. It's like that's why I know I can trust that trade. But yeah, some people, like just are random people that come to the stream sometimes and offer like stuff. I can't be too sure. You know, I can only look at it and like kind of look at like what are the IVs, what is the nature, blah blah blah. Does it make sense? Or, like, is this more than likely just some like genned Pokemon? You know, it's tough sometimes to truly know. But you know, as a casual player, you probably shouldn't even care, like on the level that like someone might care, like how I do, I suppose. But yeah, it's totally chill. Thanks again for tuning into the stream today, ladies and gentlemen. We have another batch of eggs going. We're going for our second shiny. And that shiny will be up for grabs. But you can know it's 100% legitimate because you can watch it be hatched here or whatever, you know. I mean, this is my 8th stream trying to get one shiny. It was actually just grueling. But now that we got it, it's kind of cool because the Greninja shiny is super dope. Top tier. Well, let me go up to your video real quick and give it a like. I'll give you a sub as well. Okay. 1,622. Yeah, honestly, I kind of want to do Skeledirge next, but I know my next stream is more than likely going to be a VGC stream on Monday when I go live. There's a really good chance I might build my in-game team, but if I don't, then I'm gonna at least probably start hunting for Skeledirge. Like, I might just do it, a Skeledirge egg hunt, and pray that I just get luckier than I did with this one. Because, I mean, most of the egg hatches I've done were within like 400 eggs, which would be like 1 or 2 streams. Like, I feel like we can't let this hunt, like, hinder our experience. Yeah, I had a feeling the first one was fake. Alright. 1621. Yeah, that first Xerneas was definitely fake whenever I watched that video. Because I feel like in Dynamax Adventure, it's only guaranteed that 4 IVs are perfect also. So that's kind of like why I thought it was fake initially. When I saw that it had 5 perfect IVs, I was like, it's fake. But you can get that. Like, it's possible. I just feel like typically you would not have that. It would be like 4 IVs shiny legendary. And then the second one, that's what it had. It was like 4 IVs were perfect or best. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely the real one. Now the first one, I'm pretty sure had 5. That's why I initially thought it was fake. If it didn't, then I just didn't look at it right, because I just thought the first one was fake. like I'm pretty sure it had like the ideal IV spread, which is always sus in general when you see that. Right. Well, yeah, if it's like an event, they have 6 IVs. But we're talking about like from Dynamax Adventure. Like one that was caught from a Dynamax Adventure. Like typically anything you catch is 4 IVs that would be best or 31. In the random, you know? So whenever you see like a shiny that's from Dynamax Adventure, that claims it's from a Dynamax Adventure, and it has like something that's like a little more ideal, like it's like, oh wow, that's like almost too perfect. You can kind of like look at it as a red flag, even if you can't confirm if it's real or not. Like you can almost assume like this might be fake. Yeah. But yeah, it's not always like the determination. Like that's the thing. Like it's like these are things that could, like that's what we were, like his example is trying to show that like there are little things that like are sus, but like the main like thing that you can use to identify if something's real or not is to check a memory in Sword and Shield. And if it doesn't have a memory of its trainer, then it's definitely a gen. But he used that example to show that like you can gen in memories also. Like on the fake one, it had like way too much. Like it was like way too much than the game would typically give. Like it was like overkill, but it was just like to show that you can edit that part too. He was claiming it's a little bit more difficult to do though. I mean, it's like hard, like that's the thing. Like usually the memory thing is like a really good indicator if something's fake or not in game, except if it's like an event Pokemon. Event Pokemon don't have memories of OTs. But yeah. It's just like a very like complex, like nuanced discussion, honestly. Like it doesn't even apply to most people that play the game casually. It's like like I don't gen and I just don't want gen Pokemon. So it's like, I guess like the best case scenario is like just don't trade legendaries, like, you know, only like earn them myself scenario. Like, I don't know. It's like a tough thing. It's like if I want a legitimate situation, it's difficult. Alright, get another egg hatched here, and we're getting jumped by a bunch of Rufflet. So yeah, I mean... yeah. Honestly... what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna actually... my tummy's rumbling. I think I need to eat some lunch. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful that this Rufflet did not interfere with anything. Like, they were running into me, but then they like despawned somehow. That was strange. I'm thinking that I'm gonna just hatch this last batch of eggs and head off. Because honestly, I mean, I don't really feel like starting another shiny hunt right now. We'll just kind of save our energy. I think the next stream there's a really good chance like we'll start doing some more Series 2 BGC stuff. But at the same time, there is a chance I might start breeding for a Skeledirge shiny. Like a Fuecoco shiny. Maybe I'll have better luck with that one too. But yeah, we're just gonna hatch this last batch of eggs. I'm gonna head off. If I do, I'm still gonna hatch the rest of these eggs, but I'll probably just do it off stream. If I by chance do get a shiny, I will like let people know, and I'll like put it up for like auction in the chat or some shit. Like it won't be like I'm asking for anything. It'll just be like whoever's there by chance and happens to type in the chat. Yo, nice. I really, like, I know not everyone's like a fan of like buttercream, but like, something about that type of icing just like hits a spot for me. Yeah, like you're trying to make one that looked like it should be fake, and like you're trying to make one that looks like it shouldn't be fake, and then you're making one that is real, but it just by chance looks better. To a degree. The thing about it though, like I don't remember what the nature was on Xerneas, but like unless you had 0 attack IVs, it's not the perfect competitive IV spread. So I think when I saw it, I knew it was real because it didn't have that alone. Like if it had 0 attack IVs, I would have been like, yeah, that's definitely fake. But I don't think yours did. The one you got, it doesn't matter what the nature is. Like even if it was calm or modest or timid, it didn't have 0 attack IV, so it's like very obvious that it's like more possible that it's real. That's pretty much how I look at that. Like that's the whole reason why I have done like, I mean Greninja we bred because we had to, but most of my hunts that I've done for Pokemon in this game through the Masuda method have been pretty much because they're special attackers that I wanted 0 attack IVs in. So when I see like a legendary that doesn't, like if it's a gen legendary that's special attacker and it has that and it's a shiny, it's like almost like guaranteed it's fake. I hope they add some type of feature in the DLC of this game where we can actually lower the, you know, like I saw like, I think Wolfgalik was talking about like a rusty bottle cap. That's just interesting because I feel like it's like a very common concept that's like being talked about throughout the community. It's like some type of item that does the opposite of a regular bottle cap, but it just turns your IVs to 0. So you can optimize like shiny trick room users or shiny special attackers that you have caught randomly, or like legendary Pokemon that you catch. That would be game changing because then that means I don't have to like beg a viewer who doesn't play competitively to check their cheat U and see if they accidentally caught one that just had no attack and then trade me. Stuff like that, like it would just mean like, oh, I could just use rusty bottle cap And there I go. Saves you time. It's better, like, the quality of life changed in the game. But yeah, I said I was gonna stop after that last batch. I'll do this last batch. And then I'll head off. Yeah. One more, and then I'll leave. Because I feel like it's pretty solid. I mean, I wasn't expecting... I just had a good feeling that Shiny was going to happen today, but we hatched it over an hour ago. Like, at this point, I'm just going for the second one. Alright, so this is actually 1637. This will definitely be our last batch of the stream, but thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. It's been cool talking to you. Gotta go to work here in a few hours, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I will definitely see if, I mean, like, obviously there's like a good chance I won't hatch a second shiny based on my odds of this hunt. But there's a really good chance I might do a Masuda method hunt for Fuecoco next. Just because I have a team I want to build for Series 2 that has Skeledirge on it, and I don't know, it could be cool to get the shiny. I mean, I don't even think in Sword and Shield I didn't hunt for any of the shiny starters. Like, I didn't try to get any of them. And I could get Scorbunny in this game with, you know, the Cinderace that we caught. It might, I don't know. It would be cool to kind of get all the starters, to be honest. Even like from the previous gens that I haven't like got yet. 1,640. Alright, we have one more egg here and then I'm gonna head off. But yeah, definitely appreciate people hanging out in the hunt. It's been really cool, and yeah, it's nice to finally know that we can do something different on our next stream. Word. Alright, so no luck there. I'm gonna end this off by just kind of showing off our shiny one last time. So let me just release this. Save, bring it out. It is really a cool shiny. There it is. Like, look how sick it looks. Like, it's perfect. It's like, it's one of the best shinies in the game, for sure. It just fits Greninja's design perfectly. He's really fast, like, he runs right beside it, wow. He legitimately is just running right next to me. That's intense. That's super awesome. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Sass Squad's being stronger each and every day. Good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks again for tuning in, and have yourself a great weekend. I'll catch you on Monday at 1 PM Pacific time. So until then, take care, friends. Bye.
Within our nation,
to denounce the evils of truth and love,
to extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse!